A little bit since we've listened to Gentle Giant, and I am totally in the mood to listen to some right now. So I was driving home last night, and depending on the time of day, I usually put on certain types of music. If it's like daytime, I'm probably listening to rap or metal. If it's like evening, late afternoon, it's probably something a little slower, like maybe jazz or prog. And that's where I caught myself last night. So I was listening to Gentle Giant, I was listening to Octopus, and I was like, you know what? It's been a little since we've listened to them. So let's go ahead and listen to the second track here on their album Interview. This is their 8th studio album, released 1976. We had listened to their first track, Interview, the title track, because I was actually contacted by Gentle Giant themselves to react to that track, which is so cool. Like, that was just really incredible that they reached out to me. And they let me react to that track to their latest updated remaster version of it. So we're going to go ahead and listen to this track. The second one, just come back where we left off. We'll talk about it afterwards. You give it back. Here we go. Kind of a Caribbean flavor, huh?
Stranger, it's funny. Working for years, have no money. Suddenly luck and smile on you, and your life seems worthwhile to you.
It's a cool sound.
Just how much can you spare? Give it back in the end. And the time of your season was no use, had no reason. And you move, you go away, and you can come home not today. Spreading it out over the bad years. Not for these men, this they can't hear. Just how much can you spend?
It's a cool little chill track.
Give it back in the end. And the time of your season was no use, had no reason.
Guitar and xylophone. Quickly back and forth. I couldn't catch it. None of it.
season. Haven't had much in a long time. Hoping the change is gonna be mine.
This quaintly wacky vibe
Don't
to
want to
it.
go, I wanna stay here. Spreading it out over the bad years.
That's a smooth part though.
Just how much can you spend? Give it back in the end. At the time of your season was no use, had no reason.
I wonder what that instrument is though. That one that he keeps like he's plucking. I'm not sure what it is. You know, okay, it's a good song. I'm just sitting here. I was looking through the personnel list and the instrument list. Like this is what I'm looking at right now. I'm just trying to figure out which of the instruments is making that thing, like that kind of sound throughout. I don't know if it's electric piano or something else. I have no idea. But I was just trying to figure out like what instrument was making that sound. This is a cool track in the sense it takes this like almost a reggae-ish Caribbean style rhythm. And the guitar tones and the chorus that it's using, it's very much in that realm, right? As a matter of fact, the way it starts off, it could have been a Police track. And then I would even say that Weathers kind of takes some cues from Copeland in that style of drumming, in which he moves certain bars and meters just like a little bit, move the snare off a little bit, and it just creates this different kind of space in the music. And Gentle Giant do that in this track, while at the same time, once again, playing it towards their character and their characteristics and their personality. You still have that, for lack of a better word, progginess in the song, but it's just a little bit more subtle. It's not as in your face, rock and roll, blazing solo in like 10/9 or I don't know, some random time signature. You do get those weird time signatures, but it's in a much more controlled and restrained way. And I like to hear Gentle Giant doing that, like in this track. Like, we've only listened to 2 tracks on this album so far, but I'm already getting more restraint, for example, in this album so far, as opposed to, let's say, for like Glass House, where to me that's like their proggiest and most out there album. This one we're getting a little bit more of a restraint here. And you still have a bunch of different instruments that come in. The marimba comes in playing really coolly with the guitar. There's a lot of back and forth. And I mean, that's just how Gentle Giant operate, and they've always operated incredibly well. And this song is catchy at the same time for all of its prog goodness. Isn't it strange? Oh, it's funny. Working for years, have no money. Suddenly luck can smile on you and your life seems worthwhile to you. Just how much can you spend? Give it back in the end. And the time of your season was no use, had no reason. And you move, you go away. You can't come home, not today. Spreading it out over the bad years, not for those men. They still can't hear. You get some money and you gotta send a little bit of it back. How much can you spend? Give it back in the end. And the time of your season was no use, had no reason. Haven't had much in a long time. Hoping that'll change is going to be mine. Don't want to go. I want to stay here. Spreading it out over the bad years. How much can you spend? Give it back in the end. So yeah, I mean, that's what I think it's about. But I also know that this album's a concept album conceived as a radio interview. The 3 of the tracks integrate brief interview sections, which were staged in the studio. So I don't know. Maybe this is part of the interview and like the person being interviewed is saying, yeah, I got to pay a lot of taxes. Basically, I don't know. But what I do know is you can let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. You can follow me over on Twitter, support the channel on Patreon. Thank you as always for being here. Come back tomorrow. I'm going to push my light out the way. You guys can almost see it. It's right there. Have a wonderful one. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.